Now, there is family lore that years and years and years ago, someone, one of my ancestors, was named Buick. Strange name, because they named him Buick because he was born in a Buick. You know, one of those really old-style American models of Buick. And back then, back in those days, being born in a car was an unusual thing. Not like now. Well, myself, I was born in a Toyota 2040. Beautiful car. Same car my brother and sister were born in. Same car my brother and sister were born in. But after they were born, our little car was too small for the whole family, so my folks bumped us up to a two-story Woo Schooner. It was really nice on the road. I love that. Oh, and as I'm remembering all my childhood memories, thinking of my family, my thoughts are interrupted by my onboard who called out, 5 miles to Circle J 256, except to operate manual. I accept to operate manual, and I grab the steering wheel to the car. So I pull off of the main highway, and I go to the feeder road, and I head to the Circle J 256. Now, this is the most dangerous part of being on the road, is those last few miles between the network on the highway to the convenience shops. And that's where the accidents happen. I know this because that's how I make my living. That's me. I introduce myself, Raleigh Grant. I'm your local Pan-Div auto insurance specialist. If you go manual, and who doesn't, you need me. So I'm going to pull into the Circle J 256. It's a really old convenience stop, but I like it because at this place, the rechargers are still old, so it takes sometimes 8 to 10 hours to recharge the car instead of 6 at some of the new spots. So I like stopping here. I might be there for a full 12 hours. So I pulled into the service bay and I handed my townhouse off to the techs there. I tell them I'm going to need 100% recycle and 100% recharge. Ooh, I may be here all day long. I grab the beeper so they let me know when my car is finished, and I head off into the concourse. Ooh, and the sliding doors of the Circle J open, and inside I walk, fresh air. Oh, it smells so nice, and there on the wall, the slogan for the Circle J, just like hometown. I don't know anybody who's ever been in a hometown, but it seemed nice. Well, see, the usual is there. There's the shopping center, the food courts, there are the kids hanging out at the tag halls and the community centers, and it's just a wonderful place. But I've got a list of things to do. I want to do some brick and mortar shopping. I'm going to get something really nice to eat, and a shower, of course, a stationary shower in a real shower. That's going to be a lot of fun. But first, I'm very hungry. And I go to the food court, and they've got the Arches there, the Falafel Hut, and the Curry House. But if I'm going to be down south in the parish districts, I want something you can only get locally. So I head towards the Bam Hut. Ooh, Bistro Bam is the best place for your southern food in the Circle system. So I go, and as I sit down to make my order, I hear a voice behind me. Hey, Raleigh! I turn around, I recognize the voice. I recognize the voice from my online gaming. It's Miguel Tanaka. I recognize him. We do online Olympics together. And he came on over. Hey, Mikey, nice to see you. Raleigh, I am so good to see you. I'm so happy a chance to actually get to meet you in person before so what brings you down here to the south? How could we run into each other? And Mike says, with all the people on the move all the time, with only so many convenience shops, you're bound to run into somebody you know once in a while. Have you eaten yet? I'm just going to Bistro Bam. Gonna have a nice southern lunch. So Mikey accompanies me to the Bistro Bam, and as we're sitting there, the waitress brings us our mud bug po' boys and some red beans and rice. Spicy and delicious. And Miguel starts chatting with me. So, Raleigh, have you ever noticed the matron? Have you noticed the matron? Where? And I said, I said, you don't need to have time for a date with the waitress. I'm not here for a date. I'm wondering, do you know what kind of car she drives? I said, I don't know what kind of car she drives. Where do you think all the people who work here park? Well, they can't park anywhere. There's no parking anywhere, anytime. The only time you can stop is at the convenience stations. He says, I know. That's what I'm saying. Where does she park? I don't know. It's probably a small spot. Maybe she has an MG or a Citroen. I don't know. I don't think she has a car. So everybody's got a car. Are you kidding me? I mean, especially after the dirty bombs hit all the big cities, we've got to keep everybody moving all the time. No hard targets to hit, right? He said, no, but there are people living outside. Not in this country. I mean, overseas, I know the folks where they make our prefabs and raise our food and build the automobiles and all that stuff, but not here in the United States. Are you kidding me? I said, no. I can feel it in our bones. I know. Have you ever driven with the windows down? You'd like to drive with your windows tinted? Well, I don't know. I usually drive with them tinted. I'm sure I miss the trees and the forest sun, but I've got a lot of work to do. Claims to file and phone calls to make. No, I think they're out there. Well, he was right. I had on occasion seen people on the outside, maybe some kids playing under a tree or some wanderers and some oldsters. But I didn't want to think about that. My head was getting a little dizzy and cold sweat in the pits of my arms. And I said, I drank a little bit more of my beer, and I said, no, that's crazy. And by the way, I've got to get going. You know, I've got to get a shower in before I leave. I was lying because my shower wasn't scheduled for hours, but I didn't want to hear more of this crazy talk about people living outside of their cars. So later that afternoon, when my shower appointment was up, I went into the shower. The jets of water, all hot and steamy from all sides. You know what? It's really strange because I've been getting showers in cars all my life. That's where I bathe and live. But every time I get a shower at one of the convenience stops, I feel kind of more like it's a real shower. Same things with meals. I've always eaten all my meals, and my whole life I was raised in a car, but I think of meals in a stationary place as more substantial. I don't know why that is. So I grab a little shampoo and I start rubbing it into my head, and as I'm massaging my scalp, some of those weird thoughts start to fade away. Later I get the beep on my beeper. My car is ready. So I head down to the report to pick up my vehicle. It's all recharged and recycled, washed up, ready to go. I climb back in, and I grab the yoke, and I start to head back out onto the feeder road and back onto the highway. As the onboard asks, automatic on? Yes, automatic on. I release the handles because now the computers on board is running the car along with the network on the highways, and I head on out. I'm heading towards the J274. Just a few days drive away. And as I drive on the feeder road onto the highway, I notice out the window, there are people out there. There are people out there. Well, there's police and they're all gathered. I don't know, it looks like a vehicle's been repossessed. I've never seen a vehicle get repossessed before. How would anybody live without a car? I can't even imagine. And I just keep going on. I don't need to mess with that trouble. But further down the road, I do notice out the window some little kids playing down by the river, and then a family over there fishing. And wait, I think I see under the tree. Well, that's Mikey, just sitting there under a tree, smiling wide. Was that his car that was repossessed? Could that Mikey be living outside with? Who could be? No, I don't need that. Window tint on. My windows go dark again, and I can't see the outside. I can't see the people out there. I'm just settle back into my own little townhouse, my own little life, and I head off towards the J276.